because he connected with them on some other level. And it doesn't have to be so serious. It can be jujitsu or your love for Wu-Tang's martial art movies or something, but there's got to be a side door you can probably come into your fan base at that's going to really be helpful.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I would love to open the floor up to everybody who has questions for the sake of time, because I also want to leave some time for people to network. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to open the floor up. So if you have a question, feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself, and then feel free to ask anything regarding digital marketing, your website. You can ask questions about Scott's experience as an artist manager. Any questions that you have, feel free to answer. Just go ahead and unmute your mic or raise your hand, and then I'll go ahead and unmute you. All right, Jay, I saw you first, so go for it. You are now unmuted.
Thank you so much. Hey, Scott. I
The
love
answer is content engagement.
Huh? What was that?
I'm kidding. I said the answer is content engagement again.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you so much for being here and helping us.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate you. Is it okay if I ask 2 questions?
Yeah.
So my first question is, what you said about the whole Instagram ad marketing, Facebook ad marketing, and then the YouTube ad marketing. I love it, but I'm just having struggles, like, because I use that a lot, and I noticed my exposure has gone down in time, like you said, and I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to target, because you know how you choose your audiences and stuff, and like especially YouTube, they're super picky and super down to the bone with how you target your audience. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to approach that and categorize and pick the best options to target the best audience. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So the best 2 things. So let's take it as YouTube, since you mentioned that. Mm-hmm. First of all, it goes back to, you got to really define what your music is and who your audience is. So now that you know people who like, who's an artist you're similar to?
Jack Harlow.
Okay, great. I love Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
I'm actually a Cincinnati boy, and he's Louisville, so it's almost.
Yeah, that's awesome. Heck yeah.
And I was on Jack way before everybody else. Just want you guys to know. So if you've got an audience that would like, the Jack Harlow audience would like you, here's what you do. You can actually run ads in front of Jack Harlow's videos on YouTube. I call it ethical hijacking. So, and especially if you find out World Star or somebody else is about to premiere his newest video or something like that, they paid probably $8,000 or better, his label, for that position. Mm-hmm. And for pennies on the dollar, you can run your video before it.
That's crazy. That's
so
awesome.
that's one way, but you got to know who your audience is, right? Yeah. And then you get in there, and then you've got, because it's an ad that they're going to be able to skip, that first 3 seconds, I'd say first second, but that first 3 seconds, it's got to come out the gate hard. So if you've got this 30-second build-up of your drum machine intro before you come in with the lyrics, you got to cut your ad to where, boom, it starts like one of the Baby songs. Right. I mean, you're on the first second beat, you're coming in something hard that somebody's going to be like, dang, who's this? And don't even want to get to the Jack Harlow video. Awesome. Or you do something even more creative or controversial, if that's your style, right? If your style 6'9", 50 Cent, you don't mind messing with people, you know, or even in a nice way, you know, soon as your ad starts, you go, wait, I know you're here for Jack Harlow, but I promise you, if you do something like that, well, it catches your attention. Yeah, I was here for Jack Harlow, but the guy sold me. I'm going to go check his stuff out, or it's memorable. That would be one of the first things, to find who it is and then go hijack their stuff. They put in the work. Now you get to ride on the coattails.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And another question I had too was the whole connecting with other people on social media. The only thing I struggle with is like, how do I find these people that are artists that make music and that are similar to me? Like, how do I find these people, and how can I start reaching out to them? You know, because I feel like social media is so broad. It's like you can't just find people that do the same thing or similar to you. You have to, I don't know how to start looking for those types of people, you know?
Hashtags is a great way.
Okay.
So where are you at?
I'm in Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay. So how far is that from, you're in South. Okay. But so what's the nearest big city?
For me, probably Colombia, maybe
Okay.
Gringo.
How far is Columbia?
Colombia is about 2 hours.
Okay. So what I might start doing is, so I look at hashtag South Carolina rapper,
Okay.
South Carolina rap, SC rap, all of those. And I go through the top ones one morning an hour. I go through the most recent ones or whatever. And then I start commenting on those people. That's dope. That's cool. You got a nice setup. It will show you locations, right? It'll show you bars that they're at live performing. Then you follow the bar. You comment on the bar. You follow and see when they're going to be having shows, because now you know they do hip hop shows.
Okay.
You find beat makers. You find all those people and you support them. And here's a hard thing too for you guys. Sometimes those people suck, right? But as far as music goes, right now, if I go back and listen to and I always do this later, but go back and listen to the Baby's very first stuff after he's on. I love what he does now, but that stuff back then, I wouldn't have wrote around to it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. He evolved into the artist. So don't write people off because you go to their Instagram and the beat's a little whack or the lyrics are a little off, or you can still build a relationship because you never know what camp they're going to end up being in or whatever. You know, my mom told me as a young man, you know, don't I won't get into it. That's way off chart, but don't be mean to the ugly girls, because one, you're going to be mean to one, and then you're going to walk in the classroom and there's going to be a pretty girl that you want to talk to, and that's her cousin, and she's going to be like, don't talk to him, he's a prick. So you never know who you're dealing with or who they're connected to. And I don't mean it in a selfish manner, but you never know who somebody's going to be. But start building those local relationships, and then you start hanging out in studios and you start going to clubs and supporting people. How do you know so and so? Oh, I'm an artist too, and then it just evolves. And then do stuff like this, and stay in touch with the people that are in this call and support each other. There's tons of opportunities like that, but hashtags is a big way to do it. Location find, etc.
Well, thank you so much. That's all I got for right now. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool, my pleasure, man.
Cool. Who else has a question? Go ahead and raise your hand. Jarrell, go for it. So I'll get you next.
Hey, I know you kind of like touched on it earlier, but I mean, as far as like networking, like reaching out to the people, I like all the advice that you just give. Like how much time should you think we should spend? I mean, obviously the more time, the better, but to really see like, you know, some growth, some results, how much time do you recommend?
So one of the things is first of all, as much as possible, obviously. And I know that Alexis and I both are big Gary Vee fans. And if you listen to him, his startup days, 4 to 6 hours a night on Twitter, responding to stuff. I mean, that's what it takes, even today. So as much time as possible. The other thing is, and again, we can use Gary Vee terminology for all of this. Jab, 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 right hook, right? You know, you got to give first. You're not reaching out and interacting with these people with, hey, check my stuff out, or out now, or let's work, and that stuff. But you're looking for honest, authentic ways that you can give and feedback and contribute to them and support them and build those relationships. And kind of, you can even think of it, you know, as D12 or G Unit or all these guys, you know, once they supported him, but once he got on, he went back and pulled them up, you know. Once 50 got on, he went back, got Lloyd and all the guys and pulled them back up. They all knew each other before, but they all knew the one guy in the camp that kind of stood out. So you build these relationships, and you might get around some people and you realize, man, this guy's going to go somewhere. I want to get behind, you know, I ain't going to be jealous. I ain't going to compete with him. I'm going to support this dude, man. He's got real skills, real talent. I'm going to turn him on to all my people. I'm going to be at his shows. I'm going to carry some stuff. Tupac for Digital Underground. You know, and then you're in the scene, you're around the people, and eventually you'll rise to your place. So the other thing is too, I see too many people get caught up in trying to be mega stars, like from the gate. And you got to keep in mind that less than 1% become mega stars. It's even a small percent, you know, 6 to 10% of music artists. And I don't want to be a downer, but that eat off of this full time. It's tough, man. It's tough out there. So rather than focus on millions and millions of streams and selling out tours and all that, the first thing I give my artists, you need to build me an email list of 1,000 names, 1,000 true fans, or 1,000 text messages, or 1,000 people in your messenger bot. Because if you got 1,000, I can show you how to eat. You'll make more than the average 30-year-old working a job. You won't be balling. There won't be Lambos and houses and all that, but you'll eat. You'll make $30,000 a year, and without being spammy, just by reaching out to your people 3 or 4 times a year, every quarter, with a T-shirt promotion, with a show you're going to do, with some streams, a special edition, whatever. It's easy. Once you get 1,000 true fans. Kevin Kelly coined that term, has a book out on it. I recommend you all get it. 1,000 true fans. So now again, that may take 100,000 people that follow you on these platforms. 10,000 of them are going to open your email, and 1,000 of them are going to come to the show and buy the T-shirt. So it's still a big number. But focus on getting that 1,000 hardcore fan base first. Get everything else out of your head. That's the key to me first.
Cool, Gerald. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the mailing list really hit me hard. I was like, yeah, like that's honestly a good place to start, and it definitely helps. So thank you.
Cool. All right, Soul Ghetto, you are up. Let me just go ahead and unmute you really quickly. Also, for everybody, if you don't have a question in mind and you need some help formulating something, just think about why you decided to come here and what you were looking to gain from this, and that might help you come up with some questions. All right, Soul Ghetto, you are up.
Hello, greetings, everybody. Shout out, I appreciate it.
What's up,
the info, yeah, hey Blair, the info is great, man. I like my first question is what website do you recommend dealing with, like like the Bandcamp, the Bandzoogle, or just get someone to build a website and then just pay the fee?
Well, yeah, I don't use any of the, and I'm not saying anything against them, but Bandcamp, Reverb Nation, Zoom, none of those do I use. And I'm not saying anything bad about them. But with this day and age, with how easy it is to build a Wix website or a WordPress website and actually just cut and paste the pixel code on there, it's pretty easy. Even go to Fiverr or what's the freelance website? There's another one, Upwork.
Mm-hmm.
You can get websites built, 20, 50, $100.
Okay.
Relatively cheap and pretty good looking stuff. You'll want to look at the history of the reviews, make sure they've done a lot of work. They got good reviews, so you don't get ripped off. But yeah, that's really easy to get that done pretty cheap nowadays.
Okay, thanks. And so what's a rough average of the monthly fee to maintain a good website? Since I think I need that starter. Besides building the website, monthly.
Alexis, you'd know more about websites than me as far as the monthly fees. $20.
Yeah. So it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish with the website. If it's just a simple artist website, so my brothers and I, Jordan, you guys have a really good website up. Essentially, what I would suggest, if what you want to accomplish is you want to have your artist name, you want to have some contact information, possibly a blog, and your music on there. So you don't need anything too extravagant. So if I were you, I wouldn't spend any more than $200 on getting someone to build a website for you, because you can do that yourself. So for example, Chris Carter is an intern of mine, and we just built a website for, what did we spend? Maybe I spent about $150 on his website on Squarespace. And we're currently getting the bio up, his photos, we're gonna get his contact information up there. And unless you're selling merchandise, you don't even need to get a business account. You can just get a personal website. So it's very simple to set up a website on your own. If you have the money, then you can pay someone else to do it, but it's good experience for you to get the technical experience on the back end, because you don't want to keep paying someone to maintain the website. You want to learn how to do it yourself. And granted, it's going to be, it's honestly, excuse my language, it's a bitch to have to do all of this on your own, but at the end of the day, you're an artist. So the work that you do is going to be tough anyway. So like, if you have the opportunity to do it on your own, which especially since we're in quarantine, you do, you're not going out to perform, you have the time to sit at home on your computer, use a little bit of time to set up your website. And if you need help with it, also, I'm more than happy to help you. I'm hiring on interns. So
okay, I appreciate that. I'm gonna definitely need some help because I'm not as organized as some people. I don't mind being creative, but I'll need your help. Thank you. And I think my last question that helped me a lot. I just want to say I like what you said, Gringo Blair, about the just give, the jab, hook, and just so I'm gonna concentrate on that method. And I just got a lot of great info. I want to say thanks again.
My pleasure.
With the Facebook page. Now I'm gonna be in touch. Are you in you're in New Mexico or you in Texas?
Kansas.
Kansas. All right, brother. Thank you.
Yep.
cool. Choco K, I see you. So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you. 1 second. All right, go ahead and ask your question.
First of all, I want to say thank you. But what do you think is a fair amount for somebody that doesn't necessarily know where to place their money? Because it's one thing when you don't have money, but when you have money to place it, what is a fair amount to be paying people to do this marketing and promo? Because you said 1,500 or retainer, not that that's unreasonable, because if you're professional and the results show, but for some people.
Are you talking about paying someone to do it or the actual ad spend?
Both, actually, whatever you can give insight on. Because I run Instagram ads, but I don't really do too much for the actual music, like streaming. It just shows on Instagram that the views are coming in. Not that that's bad, because you want to be seen, of course.
Right.
But how do you direct it to where it actually counts?
So a lot of this is kind of mindset. So, and the finances is subjective, right? Depends on what's in your bank account, what's coming in, and what stage you're at. One of the first things I would say, we got these questions about ads and we got these questions about websites and these different things. I think any indie artist, especially on a limited budget, has to have what I'm going to ask you right off. What's your secondary skill? You better be a talker so you can close and sell stuff. You better be good at digital marketing. You better be able to build a website. You better be able to edit videos and film videos. You need to be learning a secondary skill, or you better be good in the studio. You can mix and master. Somewhere you got to save some money. And so I would work on developing one of those skills. As far as budget goes, that depends on what you have coming in. I would say you need to build an official budget for your music business, your music career, and the labels spend 40% on promo and marketing when they try to break an artist. Regular business, day to day, I've got my MBA. I'm gonna tell you, it's more like 10 or 12%, 8 to 12%. 10s they're given is what a Fortune 500 company will focus their budget on. Music industry is a little more aggressive. It's higher risk. They really need to break somebody fast and hard, so they go as high as 40%. But and I've talked about this in a few different videos and stuff, but this is real talk. I've made a lot of money, lost it, made a lot of money, lost it, made a lot of money. I've done that a few times, and that's why I got all this white in my beard, rebuilding over and over. But this last time I went through it, rebuilding the digital marketing. So I moved from a financial consultant, went back to university, got my MBA, and then moved into marketing. When I did that, I was started from the bottom, right? I was there. And these are true stories. Pulled up at McDonald's many times on lunch. I got $3. I can get 2 cheeseburgers and a Powerade. And I would sit there before I got in there, and I'd be like, with that $3, I can reach 15,000 more people on a Facebook ad. And I'm like, bro, I'm not eating today. Pull out a line. I go. It's every dollar is a seed. Every dollar mattered to me back then a lot more. I donated plasma, $40 a pop, twice a week. That's real talk. Went down. I laid on the bed where they took the plasma out of my arm. I watched YouTube videos on how to market, how to do Facebook ads, how to do this and that, or videos from my school or Gary Vee or whatever. For the hour they sucked that plasma out of my arm, then I took that $40 and went home and ran more ads to sell more T-shirts to get more money to reinvest. So if you can only do $1 a day, start at $1 a day. But here's the real truth. And I get upset when people tell me when I'm working with you and you tell me you don't have money. When I sold my plasma to get the money, when I went without my cheeseburgers, my fat butt wants those cheeseburgers, and I went without it to put myself on, and you tell me you don't have money, I want a print out of the last 60 days of your bank statement, because I want to see how many times you went to the liquor store. Did you go to the movies? Did you take her on a date? Did you all get a hotel room? Where'd you get that knockoff? I know it's a knockoff, but still, I know you paid $50 for that Gucci belt. I'm going to see that stuff, and I'm going to call you out on it. Don't tell me you want this and you're not willing to pay the price. So what I do with my clients, when I go into a restaurant, I look at what they're spending, right? I don't ask, here's the trick. I don't ask them for any more money. Oh, you're spending $500 on PR. You've got $1,000 on a bulletin board, and you've got this going out. So I'm like, okay, don't run as much PR, don't run as much bulletin board or whatever, and just give me a percentage of the budget you're already spending, and let me show you what I can do with it. Now I haven't cost them anything more. So I'm not saying you have to earn any more money. Redistribute what's coming in now. Okay. You got to give up that bottle of wine on Friday night. You got to tell your girl we're only going out once a month because I'm serious about this music thing. You can come over and hang out in the studio and bring a bottle of Boone's Farm, but we ain't going to the restaurant and spending $50, because that $50 I can do all this stuff with. So that's, how much does it cost? As much as you can put into it in the beginning.
Does that help, Chuck? Okay.
That's it. That was really it.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna move on to Steve. Also, since I'm gonna run this a little bit longer up until about 2 o'clock, because we did have the technical difficulties in the beginning. So if you guys are welcome, or you guys are welcome to stay on as long as you like. But I am gonna go around in a little bit to ask what each of you are taking away from this event, and then we're going to move into networking shortly. But I am going to leave room for 1 or 2 more questions. So, and
I'm long-winded. I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. I hope is everybody doing okay? Everyone's getting something out of it? Throw a thumbs up if you are. Okay, cool. Awesome. So Steve, let me just unmute you really quick, and you're good to go.
Awesome. Hi, you guys. Hi, Scott. How you guys doing? It's a pleasure to kind of be here. Could you, I guess it's kind of to reiterate a couple of things that you said. Could you kind of speak on literally letting artists and letting everybody that's on this know that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint, first of all. Absolutely. And also, I think dealing with artists, and just like you, I kind of manage artists and work within the social media space. I think also as an artist, or most of us that are in the music industry, some people kind of want results too quick. And everybody, you kind of stated it, everybody's journey is going to be different. What worked for Baby might not work for another artist. What took an artist 3 months to do might take somebody else a year to do. And if you don't try it and you don't adapt and you don't change, how are you going to know something is working? Because I run ads, or I run a couple of social media promotion for a couple of artists, and very quickly they're like, oh yeah, but this isn't working. But I'm like, but you're different, because the video that somebody else did, maybe there was a hook there that kind of worked for that person. It's not that just it's not working, it's just you didn't give it enough time to kind of run. So could you kind of really speak about that, not kind of when to see the results too quick? Because people believe, well, if I put $500 in a YouTube ad, I need to see 100,000 in a week because somebody else just did it for free and they got $1 million. But like, do you know what else they were doing. And it's not just having one strategy is not enough. There has to be a collective of different things you have to do. Because people think, oh, I'm just running Spotify ad, that's it. I'm just running an Instagram ad, that's it. What else is a collective of different things that you need to do? So you kind of really speak on that, so everybody really understand that aspect of it.
Absolutely. And I should be asking Steve questions. Steve's the man. But definitely. So, man, there's so many things I can say about this. You talk about being long-winded. One thing you should, first of all, you're right. Even, it doesn't matter the industry. I had people in hair salons, restaurants, or whatever. You spend a little bit of money and they're like, well, 100 people didn't come in and eat, or I only got 3 new hair clients or whatever. And it's like, dude, it was our first ad. And it's like, even if it bombs, you just bought data that tells you that don't work. You thought your audience was the Dave Matthews Band, or you thought it was J. Cole's people. Man, they ate you alive, or they didn't listen to 3 seconds of your song. Maybe it's not. Maybe we got to go back to the board. Maybe they're not on Facebook. There's 1,000 ways to look at it, but you're never wasting money. You're buying data. You're finding out what works, first of all. Second of all, I would write this down if you want to learn something from it. It's part of my philosophy. The difference between average and great is willing to do what average won't. The difference, and that's why I tell all my artists, the difference between average and great is willing to do what average won't. They won't sacrifice like I'm talking about sacrificing. They won't spend the money and risk and learn and develop that second skill. Let me tell you this. So in the back end of my courses on Teachable, I can see how far you did the course, how many lessons you completed, the percentage and all that. Now get this, guys, this blows my mind. People paid me anywhere from $27 to, let's say, $100 for a course. I went through my numbers, 44% completed my course. You paid me $100 and only less than half of you finished it. It's lazy. That's why I say it's easy to make it in the music business today, because people don't have a work ethic. They might have talent, but that talent's going to be buried in the cemetery with them. They ain't never going to do nothing with it. Hard work beats talent. They won't even finish a course that they gave money to. Listen, I've given $7 to a book that sucked, but because they got my $7, I'm fine. I'm going through it, and I'm going to find something in there to justify my $7. And I've done this on courses. I've watched courses, and I'm struggling to get through it because I'm like, man, this thing sucks, and this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And I gave him $500. But if I get to the end, then I'm like, all right, here are 6 things you never do, Scott, when you make a course. That's what I learned, how not to make a crappy course. But I'm drawing something from it. But you've got 60%, and here I've got tons of friends in these entrepreneur communities that make courses outside of music, and I went to them for advice. 20 to 30% completions. Most of their courses are $500 to $5,000. I've spent that much on my courses. I've got terabytes of courses. I've spent almost as much on courses as I had my MBA. And they're telling me that 20 to 30% complete their $1,000 courses. To me, that's crazy, man. How are you going to get in my pocket and I don't even finish? So you got to be willing to put in the work, and it takes time. Gary Vee, again, we'll go back to Gary Vee, right? He don't care to give away all his ideas because execution. No one in this day and age is going to execute on it. They've got all the knowledge in the world, and they watch your course, and it's not the minute I tell them you might have to skip a meal, or you got to build slowly, and it's going to take you 6 to 12 months to get 1,000 people on your email list. Nah, they're going looking for the Spotify bots that's going to get them 100,000 streams for $40 tomorrow. And go ahead, you're going to be in the same place next year when you swing back around my Instagram page. So I'm just saying, it's hard work. Charlie Jabley, who put on 2 Chainz, reinvented 2 Chainz basically, did a lot of other artists, but out of Atlanta. Charlie's one of the best managers in the world, but he tells this great story. I hope it's okay, me going long-winded.
Yeah.
But at the Grammys, he got invited out in LA with 2 Chainz to go to Drake's house for the pool party. Come on. How great is that? So he goes to Drake's house and he says, it's everything you would have imagined, right? So it's the mansion, out back is the pool that's got the mountains and it looks like a resort, and there's the bars, and he said the girls in a bikini and the guys are doing flips off the diving board, and all everything you see in the music videos. And he's walking around, he's meeting people, and he said, we're there like an hour and I haven't seen Drake. And so finally, he said, we're back around the backside of the pool and there's what looks like a big ass pool house. He said, the door opened, Drake comes out, dabs 2 Chainz. They start talking. He says, my manager, Charlie, nice to meet you. He said, hey, come here, guys. I want to show you something. So they go into the pool house. It's a studio. He converted it into a studio. He's in there working. He says, listen to what I did today. And he starts talking real passionately about his next goal, right? Like he's on top of the world at this moment. He's done everything. He's got the highest buzz in the industry at that moment. And he's got this pool party going on that what everybody dreams about getting to. And it's only his people that came up with him that are out there eating off of this. His mindset is a mindset of competition and work. And that's why he's in the place he is. He doesn't even have time to enjoy the fruits of that labor. He's in there thinking about the next project. And that spoke volumes about the work ethic and the mindset that it takes. You say you're going to be, the next big superstar. You got to make some sacrifices, and you got to have a long game. It's good short-term goals, but you got to have a long game. And you got to have work ethic. Exactly what Steve's driving home.
Steve, does that answer your question? Oh,
yes, it does. Yeah, totally. Yes, it does.
Cool.
Awesome.
I also want to add to Scott's discussion on how you have to market to a bunch of people in order to gain that 1,000 those 1,000 fans. So I worked in sales for a very long time. Still work in sales. Always selling. But especially when you're marketing, one thing I do want you guys to take away is that it's going to take a huge amount of people that you reach out to in order to get one fan. So when I used to go door to door selling paint jobs at 18 years old, I would go to 40 houses in order to get one person who is even interested. And that's not even a sale yet. That's just one person who is potentially interested. And they could even be someone who says that they're interested, but they actually aren't even interested. They're just being nice enough to say that they're interested in my music. So imagine you're sending messages to people in your network saying, hey, can you listen to my music? Hey, can you listen to my music? Hey, can you listen to my music? And you get one person from those 40 people to listen to your music. That's someone who says that they're going to. You don't even know if they're actually even going to listen to it. So take that with you when you're creating your email marketing list and when you're reaching out to different artists and sending messages to your network in order to build one. In order to build that group of 1,000 people, you're going to have to reach out to at least 100,000 people in order to get that 1,000 fans that are loyal. Not even just 1,000 people who are willing to listen to your music once. It's 1,000 people who are loyal that you want. And then once you have that fan base, that's where you can start building from. Because as Scott was saying, and as Steve was saying, it's not about having millions and millions of viewers. You need to have people who support what you're doing, and then continue to build from there. I'm going to go ahead and give out 2 more questions, or ask 2 more or allow 2 more questions to be asked. Let's see, Chaco. I see your hand raised. I need you. Right now, go ahead.
All right, just for sake of, just make sure I'm clear. What should this email contain? Besides your links to your new stuff, I guess, or whatever, what are some components that the email should have that'll probably keep people coming back?
So it's not so much the email, it's collecting the emails. How are you going to collect the email? And there's a wide variety of ways to do that. If you Google lead magnet, you'll see all kinds of people's ideas on how to collect emails. There's There's tons of information about it. It's a little bit different with music artists. You got to be really creative, and it's even probably more difficult than business, right? So for me, I can just create a quick PDF file that says how to properly set up a Facebook ad for music artists. Just give me your email and I'll send it over to you. And so that's what we kind of traded. That was the incentive to get your email. For music artists, it's harder because what most music artists do is they go out and say, give me your email and I'll send you over my latest track. Well, I don't even know who you are. I don't even know if I want to hear your latest track. I don't care about your latest track. So again, you got to kind of get really creative with it. I would focus more about building those relationships and getting the emails that way. And you could do things like this. So here's just off the cuff. You knew you were coming this today, or you saw the thing about it. So during your content engagement marketing this week, you start talking to people about some other stuff. Say, hey man, give me your email if you want, and I'm going to shoot you over a Zoom link whenever for this meeting is coming up. And if I see any more that are coming up, I'll keep you on that list and let you know. Do me a favor. If you see any good ones coming up that I'm going to miss, email me back. Now, again, this goes into building friendships and supporters. I want to get everybody mindset off of having a fan base just about your music until your supporter base is so big that you can't get to all the messages. That's when you probably have a fan base. When you can't get back to everybody, or people are tattooing your name on them, or you're selling out even a small venue tour, you probably got a fan base. But right now, what you're really trying to do is build relationships. Now I have Chris Carter's phone number and email because we have a relationship. I built a relationship with Jermaine online. I built a relationship with Steve online. I built a relationship with Alexa online. I've got, I think, all of their emails 100% and most of their phone numbers. They're not fans of mine. We're peers. We're supporters of each other. So that's what I would focus on building is, and even if I got to go out and buy a bunch of Gucci Man books, and I buy 10 of them, and I just go on my Instagram lives on the weekend and I say, man, I'm reading this. Let me read a quote from you. Man, Gucci did this. It's crazy. It takes that kind of work ethic. Here's what I want to do though. Shoot the first 5 people to shoot me over their email with their address. If you're in the US, it's $3.33 to mail media mail. I'm going to send this book to you just because I think every rapper needs to read this. Now you gave. It's that giving, right? You just gave to them. You build a relationship. You start building the email list, and then you start posting Chris's music instead of yours on your page. Go check out my dude Chris, and you start posting that stuff. And then you start telling people, hey man, I got an email list. It's only 500 people. Give me your email, and I'm going to send your next song to my email list. You start doing to people what you want them to do for you. And I don't know what your guys' spiritual approach is, but I don't care if you're scientific or spiritual. Energy always returns to source. Christians call it sowing and reaping. Buddhists call it karma. Scientists call it energy. You put out all that good stuff, it's going to come back to you. Chris may not mail out his list for you, but somebody else is going to. I don't even have to. I ain't waiting on Chris to repay me, or Alexis or Jermaine. It's going to come back to me. I have faith in that, no doubt about it. So that's why I keep telling everybody, I want to be known as the guy who gives away more in this music marketing industry than anybody else.
Scott, oh, sorry. Can I just interrupt you really quick? Because I actually want to ask Jordan what his band does. Sorry, I'm going to pick on you really quickly. Because Jordan, you guys, let me just unmute you really quick. So Jordan is a part of my brothers and I, and you guys run a blog, which I think is really awesome. Do you guys have an email list as well?
It's funny you're talking a lot about emails. We do, but we've never utilized it. We've never done it. So I'm trying to brainstorm ideas with the advice you said to start it.
So the reason I wanted to pick on you, Jordan, is because I wasn't sure if you guys had an email list going with what you have on your blog. This is to go along to answer your question, Taco K. If you have any content that you're putting out there, you can include that on your email list. Email campaigns are pretty easy. If you really are not if you're not good at it at all, what you can do is you can take what you've written in your blog, you can take the content that you're putting on Instagram, and you can easily copy and paste it into an email campaign. So you can use something like Eventbrite. If you have an event coming up, so say for example, this event that we have, every time that I host an event, I create an Eventbrite, which also I want to suggest this to you guys. If you are doing anything live during this quarantine, put it on Eventbrite because your SEO will go up. So if you are doing any content regarding Instagram Live, you're doing a Zoom event, you're doing any kinds of performances, if you get this on Eventbrite, you put it on Facebook events, you put it on LinkedIn events, your SEO will skyrocket because of all of the words that you're using. So you say, for example, Jordan, if you guys have a performance going on, you say, my brothers and I is going to perform on May 25th, something like that. If you have that on Eventbrite, then your SEO will go up because not everybody's using Eventbrite. And then with that Eventbrite, you take that and you copy and paste it into, you can copy and paste it into an email campaign through MailChimp, or you can do it directly off of Eventbrite, and then you just have content going out immediately. And all you have to do is just have a list of emails and then just be willing to copy and paste it. So Traffic K, that's an example for you. Jordan, that's something that you can do. Lon, you have amazing YouTube videos that you create. You can put those YouTube videos into an email campaign and send it out to every single one of your followers. If you know how to grab all of those emails, exactly what Scott was saying, send a message out to your followers and say, hey, we have this going on. If you are interested in it, then send your email over. And I do this myself. I do this with my social media manager. Every single time we have something going out, we'll send out tons of messages. We probably send out we send out 1,000 messages per week, so much so that Instagram sometimes blocks me from being able to do it. And so that's the kind of mindset that you need to have when it comes to getting these emails, because the more that you get your message out there, the easier it's going to be. And they do have different apps that you can use for Instagram, but sometimes, you know, we don't have the money to do that. I don't have money to spend money on putting my money into something like StreamYard to get 1,000 messages out to people, because I want to develop those relationships first. Now, say you have 1.4 million followers, which I'm sure none of us are at, then sure, you can spend the money on something like that, but instead use that money for ads. Take the time to send asking people for emails, set up a newsletter form on your website. Once you collect those emails, create content, put it on your email campaign, and send it out at least once a week. Because then you'll have some content that's automatically going out to these people. Loyal supporters. Hopefully they are actually loyal supporters, but some of these people may not be. But hopefully that gives you guys an example of some campaigns that you can create for your email list. Is that helpful for anyone? Okay, so throw a thumbs up or a thumbs down if it's not. Cool. Awesome. So I know that there are probably some more questions out there, but I do want to spend a moment just going around the group and seeing what people have taken away from this, because Scott has given a lot of information that I actually have seen some of you write stuff down, so I'm happy to see that. I'm going to go around the group and see what you have taken from this, and then we'll go into it. What I would like to tell you is, when you'll say me, where you're from, what you do, one second.
There you go.
Oh, okay, awesome. So when I go around the group, what I'd like for you to do is say your name, say where you're from, what kind of music you make, what you do in the music industry, and then one thing that you took away from the event. So I'm going to start with you, Blonde, and unmute you, and you can introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name's Lonard. I'm from Ireland originally, but live in the UK now. I do like indie folk, indie blues music. I think probably the number one thing I've taken away from this, probably two. So one, the importance of email. I had kind of thought it was dead, to be honest. I was doing most of the stuff through social. I really hadn't considered email as being valuable. And then the second thing is that I've taken away is engagement with other artists on my level and like commenting and stuff like that. Although like I engage with people that I know, I'd never really thought about reaching out to other people in that way before. So yeah, really valuable. It doesn't say thanks so much, Scott. Everything you said has just been amazing. I've been writing everything down. I've made pages of notes here. So
oh, that makes me feel great. I'm glad you found it valuable.
Definitely.
Cool. Let's see. Jordan, I'm gonna pick on you again. So I'm unmuting you. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Jordan. Forgot the questions. I play guitar.
Yeah. Name, where you're from,
yeah.
what you do, and what you got out of this.
Okay. And I'm from Portland, Oregon. Rainy Portland, Oregon. I got out of this, yeah, like the emails, like you're saying. We have emails and we had a list, I mean, since our band for like years and years, but we've never used it. So I'm just trying to think of creative ways to engage people that way, because I have heard people talk about how they click on an email and they're like, you know, they find out info from that, because Instagram and everything sometimes it's just a wash. There's so many freaking things on it that you're like, I don't even care. So emails definitely got out of that. And then network of supporters. Again, that was an interesting idea, which I totally agree. Like, you don't really have a fan base until it's just this massive thing. You need to keep working with people, introducing yourself, just having this. We're all in this together. I mean, you know, we're all trying to do the same thing. So definitely got out of that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Deshaun, haven't heard from you yet, so I just unmuted you. Go ahead. Oh, can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So my artist name is actually Lameric. This is actually like a work Zoom that I use or whatever. But anyway, so I'm Lameric from Kansas City, the Missouri side. Sorry, Scott, to say that I'm from the Missouri side. But I sing, I rap. I'm in a band. We haven't put out any music yet because we just kind of formed this year. It's like some people of mine, some friends of mine. And actually due to quarantine, like I'm just now learning how to like audio and engineer for myself, and so which is pretty cool. One thing I definitely took away was to build 1,000 true fans. That one, because like I was always thinking of fans as more so of like, you know, people who like listen to your music, not like as far as like your peers. Like they can be your peers too, like your support group and stuff like that. And so I thought that was really cool, and definitely valuing the emails thing. So I definitely didn't think of that, because like I didn't think that there's any value for me as an artist to have like a chain of emails to send out stuff, because like I thought people wouldn't want to get stuff, but that makes sense as to why you should create more content, so that way you have more stuff to add to it. So it's not just your music, you're actually adding value to it, which is pretty cool. So thank you for that.
Cool. Thanks, John. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
All right, I'm gonna unmute you, Jermaine. Go ahead.
All right, Jermaine Powell. So basically, I run TV Smack Talk Media. We operate a blog that's called TV Smack Talk. So it's really celebrity gossip. So we have a large following on Facebook, Instagram, still building, on Twitter. So we're basically on all the platforms. My big takeaway from today is I have a pretty big email list that I generated probably over the last 7 years. And I used to send out a newsletter when my engagement in Facebook dropped, and it's a weekly newsletter of like the top biggest stories in the industry. Hey guys. And I stopped doing that just because. Oh, give me a sock. Sorry. Yeah, and I stopped doing that, but I was getting a really big benefit from it, and that's something that I really need to get back to doing. And the other thing is I want to add is, first of all, I'm super impressed by like the engagement of this whole event. Everybody's like really focused, and I love that energy. And then the other thing I want to add is Instagram is still powerful because it's a platform that you can build these one-on-one connections. Because when you give feedback on a picture of someone's kid or a picture of someone's kid's birthday or an anniversary or a wife, they can come back to your page and give similar feedback. You can't do that on Facebook. You really can't do that on Twitter. So Instagram should always be a big part of sort of your promotion and getting yourself out there. And it's a good way to build those thousand connections. And I would say anytime you're on the toilet, anytime you're waiting for a bus, anytime you're on the train, between meals, watching commercials, you should be engaging. I mean, anytime that you can spare, you should be trying to engage with your family, even if it's to say hi, just something that adds value to that profile, and you will see it exponentially increase. So, but thank you for the event. And Scott, always great information, man.
Cool. Thanks, Jermaine. Nice to have you on.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and unmute Chris Carter. Go for it.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Chris Carter. I'm from Louisville, but I live in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a rapper. A big thing that I learned today was the 2 hours a day talking to people, 40 messages a day. Just something that I feel like you should, that's really important to do as an artist so you can get more content or get more engagement on everything. Another thing, the 1,000 True Fans. That just continue to work on my 1,000 True Fans. That's pretty much gonna be my next big step. Emails, and since I'm building my website, that was really great information.
Chris, what's a big accomplishment that you made this week?
This week, I talked to the game and Jadakiss.
Chris has been sending out tons of messages to people that he's interested in collaborating with. He is pretty much he's a superstar intern for me, because his hustle and drive is just amazing. So I just wanted to spotlight you, Chris, because you do.
I appreciate it.
Let's see, who else have I not called on yet? Soul Ghetto, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Soul Ghetto. I'm in LA, hip hop artist. Basically everything everyone said, all the previous people, the 1,000 True Fans, just the execution part that Blair was talking about, execute, and the website information. If I got time to create my own website, I love that. And just stuff like the hijacking the YouTube, putting your ad before a popular YouTube video and stuff like that. All that stuck with me. I just want to say I appreciate it. And if anybody wants to network, check out my music. I'm Soul Ghetto. Check me out. Appreciate y'all.
Cool. Good to have you, Soul Ghetto. Jay, you are next. Oh, let me unmute.
Yeah, how's it going? My name is Julius Say. The artist name is Jay Say. I'm from Anderson, South Carolina. I sing, write, rap. I mix and master my own stuff. But I took so much out of this. You don't understand. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of artists, I can't speak for everybody, but we all have moments in time where we're like, we're doing this and it doesn't work. We're doing this and I'm not seeing results, and it gets depressing and it kind of puts people down in the dirt, But and luckily, when I was in that little rut, Chris actually messaged me on Instagram and he sent me this link, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I hopped on here and I got to learn so much. The biggest thing I learned was definitely the connecting with people and stuff like that, because I've talked to other people and stuff, and connecting is huge, but I never really realized the impact of connecting with that many people. And then the email list was something I've heard a lot about, but I didn't understand if it was really worth putting my attention towards. So that's definitely what I'm going to start putting time into, and also running the ads. I was doing that too, but not to the extent that Scott was mentioning. I really do think I'm going to start focusing more on that and finding out my niche. But yeah, and I really do. I'm so thankful that you guys got this together. I respect everybody in here. I'm so glad you guys are keeping your heads up and working hard. And again, thank you so much, Alexis and Scott and everyone here for making this happen. It's awesome.
Cool. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Awesome. Jarrell, you're up.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Drew, but I go by SKMB Jarrell. I'm a rapper. Been doing it for a while. It's always just been a joy for me. But what I got from this is honestly a lot. It's a lot of insight. I feel like kind of how to like tackle like your growth. You know, I think we all know like, oh, social media, you know, you hear from a lot of people. It's a great way to connect. But I feel like a lot of times we don't know how to connect or like how to make those connections, and I think that's it discourages sometimes, you know, where you're like, well, I want to hit this person up, but how should I go about it? How should I do this, that? So I really took it away from that. And also like what Scott said when he was like, it's easy to make it in the music industry if you put in the work. Because we're all artists here, but I'm sure you can go outside and meet like 10 other people who are trying to be artists immediately, but you know, they might not have that same drive. They just feel like they can make a song, it'll blow up, but you know, it doesn't usually work like that. So that's what I took away from it. I appreciate this too. Everybody here has, you know, a lot of great stuff to say, and you know, I hope we could all learn and grow together.
Cool. Drew is one of my childhood friends, so happy to have him on. Let's see, Chaco K, you're up.
How y'all doing, everybody? I'm Chaco K. I'm from New York, Bronx to be exact. I'm an artist / songwriter. I'm just trying to find the balance of getting my way in. And what I got out of this, just I need to go harder. There's a lot of things I realized that I was unaware of. You know, 1,000 people to get in contact with just to create, you know, a solid foundation for business. Because the artist part is not hard for me. The business part is this part that, you know, most of us are going to get hung up on because it takes a lot to learn. I done sat there and, you know, read so many books at this point on it, and it's so boring because it's not the passionate part about it. But, you know, things like this is the things that, you know, I'm pretty sure we all need, because being in New York is a very condensed place as far as people, but also the amount of people that scam you, say they do stuff and can't do anything at all. So, you know, it's a money pit at the same time. So, you know, trying to find who to talk to, how to talk to them, where they're located at, how to get in contact with them, while you're still, you know, keeping your sanity as an artist to keep putting out good product. But I appreciate y'all. I actually did get some information out of this.
Cool. Good to have you, Chaco K.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, we've got Steve, and you can go ahead now.
Yes, hi everyone. Just I guess you guys have all kind of said it all. I'll give you what my own takeaway is before I say one or two other things. I mean, I think really it's kind of Scott said it. Even taking our relationships from online, offline, because most of the time we also get used to doing everything online, that you don't see no one, you don't communicate beyond just the online space. So think of it like this: if everyone is doing just sending Instagram messages or whatever it is, you will stand out more if you stepped out and you gave the person a call. If you send a video call message, if you send a Zoom call message, you understand? Or if because for example, I come to the States a lot. I'm always in Atlanta. So the next time I should be in the States now, even though because of Corona, because of mine was getting married. So there's nothing stopping me from hitting one of you and say, oh, how are you guys doing? Listen, I'm in town, who wants to kind of connect? Because then you grow a deeper relationship. I go to a lot of music conferences. Although first of all, I manage recording artists. I just kind of like Scott, I operate within the social media space, and as well as I consult. But even with that, because I want to be able to always help the artists that I kind of manage or people within my space, because I mostly deal with Afrobeats and African music. To me, I want to learn as much as I can so I can assist and help those around me. So I'm always in a place of serving and giving first. And that goes back to kind of adding value. And one or two people mentioned here, how do you kind of connect? Just connect by adding value. As simple as that. Something as simple as going into somebody's message. If you see a real insightful quote, real insightful message, simple thing as listen, this message you put down what really kind of resonated with me. I was about to give up, but it really motivated me. So if somebody keeps on saying that over and over again, and you jumped into that DM, it be an influential OAP, or radio DJ, or whatever it is, guaranteed, if you send them a couple of 10 messages where you've commented on their post and you send them now a DM, they're going to pay attention to you because you've given them something of value. You've responded in a positive way. I have a lot of artists that will slide into my DM and the first thing is like, let's work. Or how can you help me? I'm like, I don't, like Scott would say, I don't even know you. Why would that be the first message you send me? Let's work. How can you help me? I'm like, I don't know who you are. You've never engaged with me on any kind of positive note, but you want me to come out of my space, take my time and help you. Like, help you, why? Why should I do that? So it's all about adding value, and that comes from just communicating as much as you can. And real connections really matter. You guys, most of you are artists. So something as simple as when you have fans, for example, that come into your, send you messages, send you, reply to your post. A lot of people, I think, also don't really use the voice messages and the video messages in their DM. Everybody always just sends normal text messages. So imagine if it's one of your fans' birthday and you send them a video message and you send them a voice message saying, listen, you guys, I realized today's your birthday, or you send me a message, how you doing? This is Sam Mix-a-Lot. I just want to celebrate you for living positive message. There's a deeper connection there because they didn't expect you to do that. Every other person will send a text message. So what is everybody else doing that you can do something different? And that person, I guarantee you, is going to remember you. And I mean, they're always going to come back to your post and do a whole bunch of different things. And remember this, you guys, you're only one song away or one person away from blowing up. Literally. You're one song away, one video away, one person from either it be, I don't know, Puffy, a major radio DJ sharing your stuff or your stuff going viral. You're just one. So the more consistent you are and the more frequent you are, the more chance you give yourself of actually achieving that level of success. And I know we all imagine the mix we have right here. I'm from the UK, I'm Nigerian, I'm African. You have someone from Ireland, somebody, a couple of you guys from the States. Like, there's a nice mixture of worldwide connection here. So don't always think the only people that you need to connect to are people from your region. Like, I have a lot of Afrobeat artists, a lot of African artists. I mean, right now, Afrobeat is one of the biggest runners in the world. But I know a lot of big artists that have 20 million, 10 million, like stream. They're looking to connect with artists outside in the States, in the UK, because that is not their market. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised that it's easier for you to reach out to a Ugandan artist that has 110 million streams than it is for you to connect with a US artist if you're in the US that has only 1 million streams. You understand? So at times, come out of your region, and if you're feeling the music, obviously it has to be organic. Reach out to them. And yeah, listen, collaboration is the new goal. You'll be surprised how much collaboration can and how far it can get you. And yeah, everybody just really wants success. I mean, one song, one record, one person away from just really blowing up. And I just wish you guys and everyone the most success come 2020. Forget what everybody says. And everybody is like, oh, 2020 should come and go, but it should still be your best year yet if you intend it to be. Forget all the negativity that's happened. And I mean, if whatever you focus on, you get more of that, literally. So sorry for taking a bit more time. So that's all I want to say.
It's all good, Steve. Hopefully you all got something from Steve's discussion. That's awesome. And then you all know me. Well, now you do. I'm Alexi, the CEO of the company of Finessed Media. And what I got out of it was, one, the collaboration. I love hosting these events because it gives everybody an opportunity to meet new people, especially since we are in quarantine and we don't have those opportunities outside of this. And then on top of it, I just like listening to Scott speak. Even he sent me multiple videos, and I've already listened to some and pick and choose certain things that I'll use for my own business. So I hope that all of you got something out of the event, and I'm so happy to have you guys on. I try to host these events 1 to 2 times, or once every 1 to 2 weeks. So if you can make them, great. It's no pressure at all. I actually really like keeping them intimate because it gives us an opportunity to chat like this. Because if I imagine us having 100 people on here, there's no way I'd be able to go around the room like this. But I actually wanted to spend just a few minutes. If anyone wants to share their music really quickly, we did this on one event. Our first event, we had Jarrell, who is a Grammy-nominated songwriter for Music Soul Child. He came on, and we just had everybody share their music. So we had producers, we had different artists, we had a songwriter play someone else singing in the background. So if anyone wants to share their music, you have an opportunity. I'm going to stay on here for as long as you guys need. So would anyone like to share their music before we get off? Jay? Or Jay say? Yeah. All right, cool. I saw you first. So you are up.
Okay. So I'm talking to you guys on the laptop, and that's where I mix and master and have all my files. So could I switch to my phone and then show you guys? Okay. So like, let me join this call on my phone, and then we'll.
Okay. Cool.
We'll
So I'm going to jump to someone else while you get ready.
Cool. Sounds good.
Then Blana, did you raise your hand? All right. I'm picking on you, even if you didn't raise your hand.
Okay. Yeah, I can play some of the stuff that I've done. I can play an original of mine. I haven't released any of my originals yet. I'm still like trying to work on them.
Do you have it on your phone? Are you gonna play it on your phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool.
Yeah.
You need a moment? If so, I can move on.
Yeah, I need a minute. Let me get it.
Yeah, take your time. Awesome. Jarrell, I saw you next, so you are up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. Let me connect. And this is
connected to Bluetooth.
Some of the latest stuff I've been working on. So let's take a listen.
Yeah, I need a bad bitch in attendance with a level truck, fast Rari, and some Benzes. Clown face nigga to the world, I am different. Numbers going up, no wonder I ascended. Come and see the world through my lenses. Come and see the world through my lenses. Come and see the world through my lenses. Everybody dream, but they can't afford the vision. I ain't fucking with excuses, I don't need that bitch. I need my ride clean while I'm getting filthy rich. I'm trying to get my friends and family to the 1%. And my middle finger to the ones who ain't believe that shit, I'm sorry. Cause I swear these dreams don't go away. Never take advice from the niggas who don't know the way. Father tried to tell me, don't you worry about the pressure, but the more power now I seem to only make me better. Can I get it? I got it. I want it, I bought it. And if it ain't about me, I'm changing the topics. I'm flipping the switch. I'm the switch when I'm popping. I'm off for the real ones until we see confidence. Tomorrow I ain't promise. I know that today. Putting in work for the life that I made. Shut up my city, I never no shade. Hope that they love me by any way. Hey, please forgive me for my sacrifice. Never mediocre, so why would I live that kind of life? Cop a Billy Coupe, but that shit won't leave me satisfied. I hope you don't die. Just for y'all to see I'm after.
What was that?
Did you produce all this yourself?
No, I didn't produce the beat, but like, I mean, yeah, Blair, like writing it, like all that stuff, it's all me. So
it sounds good. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. I don't really do auto-tune, so that was like the first time I've done that, and it turned out pretty cool. So
yeah, it sounds good. I'm gonna ask if everybody could just keep it short, like maybe a hook, or keep just part of it, just for the sake of time. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to someone else. Girl, that sounded good.
Thank you.
Blonde, go ahead. You are
up. Okay, so I'll just play the beginning of this one. It's a very different vibe. It's kind of super depressing, so sorry about that. But yeah, here we go.
But I hear take over all. But I didn't hear a sound, not one single song. Deliver me.
Wow. Yay! That sounded so good.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh.
Nice. That was amazing. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
You need to be focused on sync licensing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been told that. I'm never really sure how exactly to like get into it. Because there are some sync agencies and I've like submitted my stuff, but I never really need to think that.
Cool. Scott, do you think that you could send her some information about that? Would you be able to help her out with that? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'll put my email.
Awesome. Let's see. JC, you are up.
Muted by host. Am I muted or am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. This song, it's like R&B hip hop. It's weird, but I'll play it. It's a little different. Give me a second. Hold on. I gotta plug the interface. 1 second. There we go. Ready? Why is it doing that?
Are you playing it on your computer or your phone?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to someone else while you get set up. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Cool. All right. Deshaun, I saw you next, so you are up.
Okay, cool. I have a question. So should I share something that's just like my stuff, or should I share something from like my band too?
Whichever one you want to hear most.
Okay. I'll just share some of my stuff. I actually am supposed to get Chris Carter on this one, so he knows this one. Here we go. Sorry. Just trying to get to the chorus real quick for you. Can you guys hear this?
Not really.
Here. Hold on. What about now? Can you hear it?
When you do the things your heart needs to grow, when you find yourself along this broken road, gotta dig real deep, can't let it take your peace. Gotta find your love to always be okay. When you do the things your heart needs to grow, when you find yourself along this broken road, gotta dig real deep, can't let it take your peace. Gotta find your love to always be okay. Still I overstress sometimes, I could even tell no lies.
But yeah, that's part of it. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
I like the beat.
Thank you.
Is that you singing on the background?
You said, was that me singing?
Or, yeah, was that you singing?
Yeah, it was.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Also, I hope you guys don't mind that this is different genres. I know that some of you are indie, some of you are hip hop, but it's always good to expose yourself to different artists. And also, feel free to give feedback. If you like it, if you don't, then ask if it's okay to give feedback and then move forward. But yeah, thank you guys for sharing. I'm gonna move on to, let me see. I saw Steve. You had, oh wait, there you go. Steve, you had your hand up. So do you have some music you'd like to share?
Yeah, one of the artists I manage, his name is Zizi. So funny enough, this song is actually in 3 different languages. So give you guys a feel of the Afrobeats and international kind of music. So
cool.
I'll play part of it now.
If you know be by power, not by force.
it a little bit louder, Steve?
What?
Can you make it a little bit louder?
Okay, sure. Let me see. Yep. Yep, that's it. So he's speaking in Spanish, Italian, French, and English. And that's Afrobeats.
What's the name of that artist?
It's called Zizi. Z-E-E. 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 Zizi.
Can you
It's
type
called,
it in
and the title of the song is called Deconstruct.
Could you type it in the?
Yeah, I'll type it. I'll type it in there.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you. I love Afrobeats. If we had more time, I would have you play the whole thing. Let me see. Jay, you are back on. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on. Go
Okay, so sorry about that. Let me get right to it.
Time to say goodbye, oh my, I miss you. I try and I try, but stretch is the issue. Surprise, oh surprise, try to hide what I see through every little thing that you did to me. Bring it up, living the way you bring it up. Baby, you're cold, I'm making up. Good for the start, I'm picking up. Gotta stay at it, go hard in the pace. Took me a while to pick up the thing. No one's the difference.
I'll keep it short, but yeah, that's the song I just released, and it's one of my favorites. So.
Nice. Can you link us to it in the chat?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. You want the actual link, or you want me to just tell you the name of it to look it up?
The link.
Because does it let me link?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go for it. Thank you so much.
So if not, then you can type how to contact you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, awesome. Sounds good.
Cool. Chris, you're up.
I got you. I'm trying to cut it and make it shorter. This song is called Transparent. It's off my EP. It was my first EP. It's on all streaming forums, so if y'all have time, go ahead and check it out. Or if you need it, just text me and I'll send it to you. Y'all hear it?
Make it a little bit louder.
They say, damn, Carter, you
didn't
change. I heard it was money over everything. Sacrifice and grind means that I could lose anything and everything. But what's it worth? A couple $100,000, that's just for the verse. And a little piece of mind, I should have put that first. But really, I'm just trying to get my skrilly up. You'll never have to question if I'm real enough. Way I'm about to blow, we about to light the whole city up. This was for my fam that had a dream but had to give it up. This was for my city filled with diamonds that ain't shining enough. But I'm bringing light to the days that's been dark as fuck. When you on the path I'm on, it's hard to see who you can trust. Crabs in the barrel wanna pull me down and eat me up. I've been in survival mode, but really trying to live it up. Lost in my head, filled with questions. Am I good enough? The answer's yes. I don't wear a vest so I can say it with my chest. Aim for Medulla if you wanna stop me.
But yeah, I'm gonna cut it short. I don't wanna I don't wanna be petty, but thank y'all.
That sounds good. That's one of my favorite songs with me, Chris.
I appreciate it. See, I was actually trying to play the other song and it kind of just like skipped. So I was like, all right, this works too.
All good. So Ghetto, I saw you raise your hand. You are up. Oh, can't hear you. Nope. We can't hear you. You might have switched your audio if you were trying to put your music on. If you have your phone in front of you, then you can also play it from your phone and then use that, whichever one works for you. I'm going to give you a moment to set up. Cool. Choco K, did you raise your hand? All right, cool. I got you. You are unmuted.
All right, so this is a song that I put out like a year ago. I organically like just playlists and stuff got it to like 50K on Spotify. Well, 50K altogether. I did like 40K on Spotify, so I'm proud of it. Hopefully, I like it.
Woo!
I get everything I need out of pocket money. Didn't know that I could sing. Well, I say surprising, I know. I made it out the trenches, up the benches, and I know better than to play games these bitches. And I know I want to ball with the greatest like this, and I know learn the things that's for sure. Only thing that I know, I made it out the trenches, up the benches, and I know better than to play games these bitches. And I know I want to ball with the greatest like this, and I know I'm still learning things that's for sure. Only thing that I know. I'll let y'all leave it there.
Nice.
Thank you.
Cool. Also, yeah, if you guys want to link us up to your songs, what I'm going to do with this chat, takes me a while to get all of the information out there because we're a little bit behind on the content that we're putting out. But what I do with these chats is I save them and I send them out to all of you guys. So if you leave your emails or a way to contact you, then I do my best to try to get it out to you so that you have all this contact information and everybody's link too. Or you guys can screenshot it. I don't know if you can save it on your side. I think you can. But if not, then I'll get it out to you. And then Jordan, do you want to play the guitar?
I could show you the single.
Come on, we want to hear you.
I don't actually have a guitar. Well, I do. I put it away for a second.
you could air guitar. All right, go ahead. You can play your single if you'd like.
This is just a real quick. This is the single, the latest single. I don't know if you can really hear it, but.
Can you go a little bit louder?
You saying I'm fine, don't worry. Well, I know you. It's something in your mind I can't see. Let me show you. I can see the flame light.
Little there.
That's all we get.
I don't.
No, that's good. So for those of you that don't know Jordan, he said that he's from My Brothers and I band, which we just featured on our page recently, and they are one of my favorite bands of all time. I listen to your guys' music, like I said before, I listen to your guys' music over and over and over again.
That's nice. We need to say that.
No, but really, I found their band, his band, on Spotify through the Discover playlist. And one of the things that they went over in their interview that we had with them was that the algorithms really do work on Spotify. If you guys do get a chance to listen to their music, what Spotify did was when their music started gaining some traction is they started pushing it out to more people, and that's how I found it. So the Spotify algorithm does work, and it's worked for them. So thank you for sharing, Jordan. Soul Ghetto, you are up last.
Yep. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna do the same thing on the phone. This is my newest song, my newest work. Can you,
She like the way I shine, the way I be blessing it, the way I hit her from behind. Ain't no question, I'm the best at it. She like the way I shine, the way I be blessing it, the way I hit her from behind. Ain't no question, I'm the best at it. Daddy Mac in the back of the Cadillac, smoking on God's gift, sipping on yak. I say where they at? And that shit tech, I gotta hold her back. My chick strap, I said my bitch back, my bitch hood, my bitch do things, your bitch wish she could. I said my bitch got that bag for fucking with a crook. With the jab, bitch, she hit you with the hook. Look, good, and it's getting better. I never sweat her, I'm gon' let her. I'm about my cheddar. You never put your spine to the eagle, mind to the people. Smash out in a regal beanie, seagull headed to Reno. I'm under pressure. Hope you get the message. Don't you ever let up. Things will get better. I'm on the grind.
Yeah.
Cool.
Appreciate y'all.
Nice. So I think, did I get through everybody? I think so. Awesome. So thank you guys for sharing. If you would like to connect on Instagram or via email, leave your information in the chat. So one thing that I'm going to be doing is I will be hosting some more events where artists get to perform. We haven't gotten to it yet because we've just been so busy with Finessed Media, but what I'd like to start doing on a weekly basis is have an opportunity for artists to perform on Zoom. And you guys can bring your music. Ideally, if you can perform live, it's better to perform live, but if not, then that's okay too. And for my birthday, I am actually going to be hosting a fundraiser for artists. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to have some kind of challenge or battle. My birthday is June 12th. So the reason what I would like to do is host a challenge for artists that would like to showcase their music. I'm going to host a huge fundraiser for the artists that do perform. I'll pick probably just a couple, maybe like 5 of them, to have an opportunity to perform their music on Zoom. I would love to have everybody on, but there's just not enough time in the day. But essentially what I'll do is I'll invite my network. I'll invite everybody from my entrepreneurial organizations. You guys are more than welcome to invite your people as well. And any of the donations that come in through the fundraiser will go towards the artists that perform. So if you guys are interested in that, then also feel free to DM me or reach out, and I'm going to start setting up this challenge within the next week. So any last minute questions or things that you guys would like to talk about before we head off? No?
I just want to say thanks for Scott, for sure. And thank you, Lexi. You know, you the best. Appreciate you.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Scott, again, for joining us and for giving out advice. Go follow him, everybody. Go follow him on Instagram at Gringo Blair. Is there any other way that people can reach out to you, or is Instagram the best way for people to reach out?
That's fine. Instagram's fine. If I'll make them work for it. You got to work for it to come find me. I know everybody's selling and pitching. I want you to work for it. I'll tell you, Jermaine didn't get a chance to play any music, but I would go follow him. You guys were talking about working harder. You got to turn up your game. I follow him on Instagram, and I watch almost all his stories and his posts. He does a lot of Amazon arbitrage, FBA, stuff like that. And it's not music, but the guy works so hard that it motivates me. And like, he'll have his post like at 1 a.m. where he's doing something. And then next thing you know, he's up at 3 a.m. cleaning before the kids get up. And like, I get up and watch I'll go on 6 hours sleep, and I'll get up and watch the video. And I'm like, damn, I'm lazy. Like, I got to turn it up. And he teaches me, like in the car, he's like, I turn on Audible at 1.25 or 1.5 so I can get through more audiobooks faster. And I'm like, oh, this guy's work ethic is insane. So follow him if you want to get that motivation. You want to feel lazy and not settle, not get complacent. You got to follow Jermaine. No, Gringo Blair is fine. Reach out to me there. I will let you guys know. I won't give you a lot of details, but probably as soon as Monday, I'm going to do something, kind of reverse my course model to a subscription, and create a community, because I'm more interested now in building network and getting something a lot more affordable to people. I know I was telling Chris about this. I saw somebody I respect recently, but they sold a course for $1,000 on music marketing, and it's outdated. So, 6 months later, it's outdated, and it's not their fault, right? That's the nature of technology. So I'm thinking a subscription model or something is going to be better for people, cheaper. You pay a few bucks a month, and then it constantly gets updated Plus, I want it to be smaller and have a group that can network. But I'm gonna do the launch this week, and the first 30 are going to get in for $8. So and it's going to keep going up. I've got like 4 plans. It's never going to get expensive. I'll never pass probably 25 or 30 bucks. But I just want to let you guys know. So if you're interested in that, find me. You'll see the information come up, and hopefully we can network. And I'm grateful that all you guys like are seriously talented, because usually you get, and I don't mean to be mean, you get 12 people in the room and somebody's garbage. I mean, and you got to be the 4th person that tells them like, you know, you need to go back. But all you guys, man, it sounded good. So I was like, whoo, I got to tell everybody they're garbage.
Well, thank you, Scott. Again, thank you so much. If anyone wants to, if you guys want to unmute yourselves and say thank you, you're more than welcome to. But thank you, everybody, for joining. Jordan, Jarrell, Blonid, Solghetto, Chaco
That was
K,
great, man.
Steve,
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Jermaine,
Safe out
Sean,
there.
Chris Carter. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be hosting a bunch of these events. If you got anything out of it, feel free to join whenever. Bring your friends. If you have anyone in the music industry, we work with everybody. If you haven't checked out Finessed Media online, we just relaunched our platform. We work with artist managers. We work with A&R reps, music tech executives who have different products that they want to talk about and how they help artists, different artists, and everybody from the music industry. What we want to do is create a platform and a community for people who are music creatives and entrepreneurs. So anything, if you have anything that you want to add to the community too, or if you have events in mind, then I'm more than happy to talk about that too. We're going to be doing a couple of things in the next few weeks as well for African Americans in the music industry, or just the Afro diaspora. We're also going to be doing something for the AAPI community, Asian American Pacific Islander community, and Latinos in music. So if anyone has interest in that, then you're more than welcome to talk to me as well. Other than that, that's all I have for you. Anything else that anyone wants to add or say? Nope. Okay, cool. So I'm going to save this chat. I am going to log everybody off, and I hope that you all have a good evening or good
Thank you.
morning.
You as well. Be safe out there, please.
Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you.
Bye, guys. Thanks,
Much love.